click is all it takes to lose everything.
We are in a cyber war. You can either be a defendant or you could be a victim.
If you've watched the news or the media, one of the themes that's being covered a lot is the Russian hacking. And I often joke with people, the Russians are coming, the Russians are coming. Actually, the Russians are here. Now, just to be clear, we are also doing the same thing. All right, so I sort of find it ironic that we will sit here and we say the Russians are hacking our systems, they're breaking into our systems, they're causing all this damage, but we have to remember that we're also doing the same thing to their systems. And one of the things that's very important to remember in cyberspace, there are no allies. In the real world, there are allies. There are countries that work together, that help each other. But what I find in cyberspace, it's every country for themselves. We see Canada, the US, the UK, that are typically allied countries hacking and going after each other. And then, of course, you have countries that are not necessarily allies, like Russia, China, North Korea, and the United States, definitely hacking and going after each other. But here's what we need to remember. They are not just going after our political systems. We heard about the Russians hacking the DNC during the previous election, accessing a lot of that information. It's not them just going after critical infrastructure. They are going after everything, including your information. We saw a few weeks ago where the FBI recommended that anybody who has internet connectivity at their home, which I think is just about anybody these days, right, should go in and reboot their router because there's a high probability that the Russians have broken in and compromised that information. So we want to make sure that we recognize, even if we're an individual, even if we don't think we have a lot of money or we don't have that big a position, we are still a target just like any other company or any other country. So just recognize that the Russians are not coming, they are already here, and they're targeting your information, and you have to start taking action to protect yourselves. So any device connected to the internet, make sure you change the passwords. Make sure you're applying patches, and make sure you periodically reboot those systems so you can be as safe as possible. And if we work together, we can make cyberspace a safe place to live, work, and raise a family.